The names given to cars might have different meanings in various regions. When the Toyota MR2 was released in France, it was quickly rebadged as the MR, pronounced MR. When naming one of their vehicles, Mitsubishi came up with the much more appetizing Minica lettuce, which is undoubtedly inoffensive to UK ears, but is a little weak as a car name. What could a crunchy, watery salad item have to do anything with a car? Beats us. Maybe you have a better guess. Similarly, this same manufacturer gave one of its vehicles the name Starion, which many Westerners, including Jeremy Clarkson, assumed would have been Stallion, if not for the mistake between the letters L and R. The original press materials suggest otherwise. Starion is an abbreviation of Star of Arion, where Arion is the name of a mythical horse in Greek mythology. The owners must have been tired of having to correct everyone who walked into the pub because, let's be real, the name isn't exactly hip. Even if they don't sell very well, some European and American automakers have given their vehicles equally silly names. Ford, Austin, Vauxhall, and others will all be shown to be responsible. So stay tuned to learn about some cars that really shouldn't have been named that way. Number 1. Nissan Friendee. Nissan introduced the Friendee at the 2013 Frankfurt Auto Show, making it another entry in the annals of strange vehicle designations. The concept car's interior and features were influenced by social networks to foreshadow Nissan's future vision. It had an okay aesthetic, but the name smacked of desperation in this day and age. Since Nissan insisted on having it spelled with an accent, it now has an even more of a pleading tone. Nissan has just shown the Friendee concept, a four-door sedan made for a younger demographic with a radically different approach to car culture. Friendee is a self-assured creature of the night, designed to be spotted in the glare of city lights with an authoritative, imposing facade with bold, flowing sculpted lines. Although the idea can be applied anywhere, Nissan's initial inspiration for Friendee came from their research to the hopes and dreams of the Bongo, the collective name for the approximately 240 million Chinese children born in the 1980s who are expected to become the largest single market segment in the world. Friendee is aimed squarely at the social dynamics of Chinese guys in their 20s. Interesting association, right? Number 2. Mazda Bongo Friendee. Upon learning that, at least in the United Kingdom, this moniker refers to a type of camper van, the absurdity of the name fades into context. Since 1966, Japanese automaker Mazda has been producing the Mazda Bongo, also known as the Mazda E-Series and the Ford Econovan. The Mazda Bongo is a van and pickup truck, and unlike the Friendee variation, it has a cab-over design. It has been manufactured with both centrally and laterally positioned engines, as well as up front. It also served as the foundation for Kia's long-running Bongo lineup. The Bongo Antelope of Africa provided the inspiration for this name. Number 3. Daihatsu Naked. Which comes first, the car's moniker or the driver's attire? Despite its diminutive 658cc engine, the Naked was a surprisingly alluring little key vehicle with Jeep-like design and an available four-wheel drive. In production from 1999 to 2004, the Daihatsu Naked was the company's key offering in Japan. The 1997 Tokyo Auto Show marked its debut. You could get with it a front-wheel drive system or a four-wheel drive system to complement its 658cc gasoline engine. The design was meant to convey a sense of ruggedness, therefore details like ridges on the doors and exposed bolts and hinges were incorporated. The Naked was one of the first cars to borrow design cues from off-roaders for use on the road. Other examples may be seen in the Rover Streetwise, Citroën C3 XTR, and Volkswagen Cross Polo. The plastic moldings on the dashboard are reminiscent of the fabric found in the original Fiat Panda, and the overall design is reminiscent of the Panda's interior. Number 4. Mitsubishi Carisma. Even if Mitsubishi would like us to think otherwise, it's hard to think of a car that has less appeal. From 1995 through 2004, Mitsubishi Motors built a large family automobile known as the Carisma for the European market. The name is a portmanteau of the words car and charisma, which together signify divine gift. It was created in collaboration with Volvo using the same chassis as the first version of the Volvo S40, and produced at the Ned Car Factory in Born, Netherlands, which Volvo and Volkswagen jointly owned. Over the course of its production run, more than 350,000 were made. Sales in Holland initially launched in June 1995, after mass production had commenced in May. The following year, sales of four-door saloons began. Number 5. Hyundai Trajet. The name of this multi-purpose vehicle may have come close to capturing the experience of some people who had one. Between 1999 and 2008, Hyundai Motor Company produced the seven-seater vehicle known as the Hyundai Trajet. The first model in the series, the 2.0 GSI, was released in 1999, and buyers could choose between gas, diesel, or LPG powertrains. The vehicles were dubbed multi-purpose vehicles. In 2001, a special edition SE was released, powered by a 2.7-liter V6. The first sales started in South Korea in the spring of 1999, while the world premiere took place at the London Motor Fair in October of the same year. The European automobile market opened in the spring of 2000. The word journey, path, walk, course, haul, itinerary, and travel are all cognates of the French word trajet. Number 6. Gaylord Gladiator. Possibly a sequel to the Ridley Scott film from 2000, centered around an automobile. Despite what may have been implied in Meet the Fockers, the name Gaylord is not a joke. Design-wise, the Gladiator was decades ahead of its time. The spare tire, for instance, could be pushed out from under the trunk and onto the road in a flash, without the poor guy having to get his clothing dirty. But the roof, the first electronically retractable hardtop in the world, was the true showstopper. With the push of a single button and the activation of a single motor, it could be elevated or lowered. Although it was released just 2 years after the Gladiator prototype, Ford's Skyliner of the late 1950s required no less than 7 engines. Weighing in at around 3,968 pounds, it was noticeably lighter than contemporary automobiles designed in the United States. It also meant that it was quicker and handled better than the Cadillac Eldorado thanks to the 305 horsepower Cadillac V8 under the hood. Number 7. Dodge Dart Swinger. The introduction of this vehicle near the end of the 60s made it a desirable commodity. In the 70s, however, it sent the wrong message to the partygoers. You could generally find the keys in a dish by the front door. The Dodge Dart is a range of automobiles that was manufactured by the automaker between the model years of 1959 and 1976 for the North American market, with continued manufacturing into subsequent years for other regions. There was a Chrysler concept automobile from 1956 called the Dart, and it was given a streamlined body by the Italian coach builder Carrozzeria Ghia. In 1960 and 1961, the production Dart debuted as a full-size Dodge at a reduced price point. In 1962, it was redesigned as a mid-size car. Then from 1963 until 1976, it was a compact car. Number 8. Vauxhall Atom. The Atom was marketed as individual as you are because of its extensive personalization choices, taking its name from the founder of German automaker Opel, Vauxhall's sister brand in Europe. The unfortunate reality is that people would always assume you were a little beige if you had that name, no matter how bold or subtle your color choices were. At the close of 2019, Vauxhall stopped producing the Atom. Guess the independent vibe didn't fly. Can you think of a better name? There were 3 trim levels, a rainbow of exterior colors, 3 roof colors, a plethora of interior hues, patterns, and trims, and a plethora of headliner options for the vehicle. Supposedly, the Atom can be customized in more than 61,000 different ways on the outside, and in more than 82,000 different ways on the inside. Alongside the Corsa, production at the Eisenach factory in Germany began in January 2013. Number 9. Studebaker Dictator. No, it wasn't a great option in the 1930s and 1940s. By 1937, the name had gotten a little, shall we say, tarnished, so Studebaker switched to Commander without warning. The Studebaker Dictator was a car made by the Studebaker Corporation in South Bend, Indiana, USA, from 1927 until 1937. Dictators were first manufactured in large numbers in 1928, their model year. Around the middle of the 1920s, Studebaker started giving its cars new names. Previously known as the Studebaker Standard 6, the Dictator was renamed for the 1927 model year under the internal model designation GE. The idea behind the moniker was to convey the sense that this car dictated the standard, and all others would have to meet it. Number 10. AMC Gremlin. Stay away from water and avoid feeding it past midnight. Jokes aside, this subcompact automobile debuted in 1970 and was produced and marketed in a single 2-door body design by American Motors Corporation, AMC, and in Mexico by AMC's Vehículos Automotores Mexicanos, VAM, subsidiary from 1974 to 1983. The Gremlin was an economy automobile that competed with the likes of the Chevrolet Vega and Ford Pinto, as well as foreign vehicles like the Volkswagen Beetle and Toyota Corolla. It was based on a reduced version of the Hornet platform and had bodywork with a prominent camback tail. The Gremlin was promoted as the first American-built import by the localized car maker. One would think that car companies understand that with all the time and effort put into designing and manufacturing an extraordinary vehicle, they can manage a half-decent name. Guess that isn't common sense. We do know a car that has been named well and is popular since the beginning of time: the Batmobile. Learn some cool facts about Batman's car on our channel. Thanks for watching, and we will catch you in our next video.